You know, I've always said that science should study social justice's effect on the brain because people who clearly engage in it tend to become a little off. They start engaging in very bizarre behaviors. They might act like a child, throw temper tantrums in public, scream at the top of their lungs, resort to violence. They effectively become toddlers in grown people's bodies. And it's something that I feel as we grow as a society and advance as a species, maybe we'll look back on this time in the future and we'll notice the effects that social justice, that woke culture has on people who really take it in and absorb it and base their lives off of it. But until that time, we're kind of just left scratching our heads. How do people get to the point where they think screaming at the top of their lungs in public is okay, just like a child would do when they're not getting their way? I'm sure you've seen them in the supermarket at some point in time, a child just going off, throwing a huge temper tantrum in front of their parents, screaming at the top of their lungs while their parent tries to console them or tries to get them to calm down. Well, recently this happened. And I want to say this happened again. Because there was a woman who went shopping at Walmart. Apparently, she allegedly cut in front of a man who was in the checkout aisle to get his stuff. And according to the man, when she cut him off, he called her out on it. And she started to go crazy. And he got it on video. Now, he claims that she began reaching into his cart and throwing stuff out of it while she was freaking out on him. When the camera came up, apparently she was so traumatized that she could not go near him. And because he was a man, he was traumatizing to her. She claims that she was raped, and that's why he couldn't be around her, that he had to go away. And by the time the interaction was done, by the time that the man was being led away by Walmart employees, she was screaming at the top of her lungs. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go ahead right now, and we're going to watch this unfold. Right now, this is up at redstate.com. Everything I'm about to talk about is at redstate.com. By the way, sign up for the VIP program. Use promo code SAVEAMERICA. It'll give you 40% off, and you'll get some stuff that is not available to people on the front page. Great stuff that you are missing out on. Promo code SAVEAMERICA, Redstate VIP, link in the description. Let's go ahead and watch this video and just kind of take note of her reaction, his reaction. People are trying to console her, but she is inconsolable. She will remind you of a child. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Yeah, kids calm down. I can't be touched.
I didn't touch you, man.
I was raped not that long ago, and I can't stand another man touching me.
Okay, already we are having a claim. Now, I would never say that, I would never automatically just say that, oh, well, your claim is false about something that serious. However, we have on multiple occasions, especially lately, seen that claim used where it was demonstrably false, and you'll notice that there are many people, especially women, who engage in the whole social justice woke culture atmosphere, that they make these claims of being assaulted in that manner. And they typically use it whenever they are getting called out for something. They use it as a defense mechanism. They use it to self-victimize so that the people around them are afraid to question them. Now, again, I'm not saying that this didn't happen to this woman. I really hope it didn't happen to her. But again, this is an abused thing that we have been seeing in our society a lot. Also, as you'll see, the man claims that just a second ago, she didn't mind getting into his personal space, which makes her claim very dubious. Let's continue.
Is this a prank?
He won't go away. He needs to go away. He's the problem.
He needs to go away. He's the problem. But she was the one who cut in front of him. She was the one who was reaching into his basket and throwing things out. She was the one who started it. All she had to do, if what he is saying is true and she did cut in front of him, all she had to do was say, oh, my mistake, I'm sorry, and go back. But she didn't. She did this instead.
I need to leave. I still got, okay. She threw some of my stuff. Where's your stuff? Hell if I know. I'm so sorry.
The man is apologetic.
She wasn't sorry when she...
But did you notice that he says that he's sorry because all of this has caused this insane reaction from this woman. And the woman's reaction to him apologizing to the Walmart employees was to say that he's not sorry. She's speaking for him. He's not sorry.
She wasn't sorry when she cut in line.
I didn't see you.
To make it. Oh, I just asked her.
Again, if she didn't see him, and it was a mistake, it was an honest mistake, then why didn't she just say, oh, I'm sorry, and then she walked back? Instead, she demanded that she keep her place right next to there, at the checkout, the self-checkout. You know, she fought him for it. She's throwing this huge scene for it. She's reaching into his personal space, grabbing his stuff, and flinging it everywhere. But apparently she can't be near a man. She can't have this because of the claim that she made. I'm afraid to say it on YouTube for fear that YouTube will strike me for it. Again, this is getting less and less believable on her part. But it gets worse. Watch this.
She saw anyone in line.
Please, just go.
That's an adult.
You're making it loud.
Let's just walk up.
I'm just talking.
Walk up to Sir. Walk with Chris. Walk with Chris.
Just to calm everything down.
Okay. So I am once again blown away by the fact that we allow this to happen as a society. I think that her reaction has... It was something that should not have been given into. Just like a child, you would not give in to that kind of behavior. You would punish the child. You would put them in timeout. You would bring them outside into the car. You would do what's necessary to make sure that that child understood that that behavior is not okay. In this situation, we have a grown adult acting that way. And what was the people's reaction? It was to give in to the woman. The woman throwing a temper tantrum and screaming her head off. Now, she might have some sort of mental illness. I hope she does not. I hope that she can get some help for what is happening to her. But we have noticed that this behavior has been common. Especially within the last 10 years, we've had grown women, mature women, who will go from 0 to 60 in a moment because they were taught to do that. From this social justice mentality of I am a victim and therefore I must lash out. And nothing is my fault. I do no wrong. I am the victim of everything that happens around me, and therefore the only recourse I have to fight back against this unfair and unjust world is to go to extremes. This woman clearly went to an extreme. She struck out like a child, screaming her head off, throwing things. It seems that she was shopping by herself, so I can only assume that she is actually a woman who is perfectly capable of taking care of herself, despite the fact that she was still wearing a mask. She has this backpack on that had flashing lights on it. It was strange, but no one else was wearing a mask. That's for sure, because, apparently the mask mandate was lifted either in that town, that county, that state, that store. No one else was wearing a mask but her. So we can assume that she, given everything that we've noticed on her and what she said, we can assume that she is probably she probably has that ideology, that leftist social justice ideology on her. And that was a pretty typical reaction for people who subscribe to the social justice mentality, to woke culture. She makes a very self-victimizing claim that may or may not be true. I hope it's not true. But she makes that claim in order to make herself untouchable. It is now her shield and her sword. The man is in the wrong for even remotely going so far as to question her for what she did. And that he can't be around her despite the fact that she was all up in his personal space before that camera came on. We as a society have got to stop caving to that level of behavior. If we want woke culture to go away, one of the things that we're going to have to start doing is making sure that when we say no, we mean no to these people. Otherwise, they're going to keep acting like this. They're going to keep acting out. They're going to keep self-victimizing as well, which is also harmful when you really think about it to the person who continues to self-victimize. Self-victimization is effectively giving away your own power, giving away your own agency, your own independence, and making your well-being everyone else's problem. But here's the thing. The things that trigger people are not your problem. The things that trigger people aren't something that you should have to adhere by. You don't need to walk on eggshells within society for people who are going to flip out every 5 seconds. People who do not think too highly of themselves and aren't allowed to think too highly of themselves based on their own political ideology. From here on, I think, as a society, we need to look at situations like this, say no, and mean no. To stand our ground. What should have happened is those Walmart employees should have told that woman that she is disturbing their fellow employees, she's disturbing the customers, and that she needs to go back to her point in line and allow the man to check out as was his turn. If she refused and she started flipping out like that, then they should have said, we're going to call the police. If she continued to do that, then allow the police to come and take her away. The no should have stood. That man should not have had to have walked away. He should not have been escorted away to another register. He should have had that register because that was rightfully his, what he waited in line for. And now you might be thinking, well, it's just a self-checkout. It's more than just a self-checkout. It was the affirmation that her flipping out just the way she did is effective. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. Thank you guys very much. And I will see you in the next video. Remember, VIP code. Go sign up for it. Save America. Get you 40% off Red State VIP at redstate.com. See you in the next video.